so close. So you will have a very interesting idea in the future. And now I would like to explain about this second part of the effective utilization of the resources, that is synergy. Maybe you have heard this word before, synergy. And in fact, there's one framework that you can think of synergy, that is by Igor Anzov. And he said there are 4 kinds of synergy. And first one is related to the sales. Maybe 2 different businesses can use the same channel or same brand, that is the sales synergy. And second kind of synergy is the operation synergy. If you have the same, if you have one factory and if you can produce 2 different kind of product at the same the factories, that is a kind of operation synergy. And investment synergy is, suppose you invested in research and development. And as a result of the research and development of one product, you develop the technologies, and maybe you can use this technology for something else, for another product. You remember about the Fujifilm, which I explained on the first day. Fujifilm, they developed the technology used in the camera film. But this technology can also be used for producing cosmetic. That case is investment synergy. Management synergies, the managers who have the experiences in one business, his or her experience or the sense of the judgment, sense of the making decisions can be used for another kind of business. That is a management synergy. So there are 4 kinds of synergy. And now I want to show some examples from the Japanese company. This company called Ajinomoto. Do you know Ajinomoto? Maybe, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. You have in Laos. It is sold in Laos.
Yes,
okay.
but from Thailand. Ajinomoto from Thailand.
From Thailand, produced in Thailand. I see. Yes, Ajinomoto is a Japanese company. You know their product. And producing or developing that product, Ajinomoto, they developed this technology. It's called amino acid technology. And because they accumulated knowledge about amino acid technologies, they could use this technology for something else. For example, they developed the supplement using this technology. And Ajinomoto and supplements both use the same technology. So this is like a kind of investment synergy. They use the result from the R&D. Another, Ajinomoto is a famous company. So they have a channel to many kind of supermarkets. Using this channel and also the name of the brand name Ajinomoto, they decided to introduce new products. Let's say it's a frozen food. No, to produce frozen food, they don't use any amino acid technology. But for the frozen food, this company used the brand name and distribution channel to the supermarket. So it is like a sales synergy. They use a sales synergy and introduce another kind of food product. And in this case, this technology, amino acid technology, can be used both for Ajinomoto product and supplement, simultaneous multiple use. And also this distribution channel when it is used for Ajinomoto, it can be also used for frozen food. Again, simultaneous multiple use is possible. So for the intangible assets, for the case of intangible assets like this technology or channel or brand, it can be used simultaneously for multiple products. There is big difference. Tangible assets, simultaneous use is impossible. Intangible asset, simultaneous use is possible. So 4 synergies and some cases. And now, more advanced type of synergy is the diversification, not diversify to other areas of the business, introducing new products. Like in the case of Fujifilm, the existing products in the existing market was a camera film. They expanded the market and sold the same product in another market, but at the same time, they developed a new product using the similar technologies, and also they enter the new market, diversified to new business and introduce cosmetics, something like this. So diversification is more advanced type of the synergy. But usually this kind of diversification, there is a case for successful cases and unsuccessful cases. I will show you the unsuccessful cases. This is a case of US company called US Steel. That is a steel company in United States. US Steel diversified businesses and enter the area that they had never worked before. No experiences in that business and no intangible assets from the steel production were used for that new business. Then in that case, they failed to develop new businesses in various areas, even though they changed the name from US Steel to USX. So that kind of parachute type diversification. And the parachute type of diversification means you enter the market where you cannot utilize any of your resources you had before. That is a parachute type. And US Steel had many parachute type of business and they failed. And later they changed their name back to the US Steel, try to focus on the steel production. Sony, Japanese company, they also diversified. There's a company of the movie production, Sony Pictures, or the music labels, Sony Music, and they also produce the game machine, like a PlayStation. They diversified business. Sometimes it's successful, sometimes not much. For the PlayStation, somehow it was a successful diversification. For Sony Music labels or Sony Pictures movies, it's difficult to say if it was successful or not. Maybe not so successful. Why? Because Sony produces the equipment with which people watch movies or people listen to music. When people use Sony's products to listen music, they listen various kind of music, not only the music from Sony's label. So when they diversify to this Sony music area, they had a problem because they want to sell to the customers who also want to listen to the music by another company. That was the same for Sony Pictures. Sony Pictures produced some movies, but using Sony's TV sets or video recorders people want to also watch different kind of movie from different companies. So it's a little bit, difficult for them if they can develop this or if they should develop more for the product itself. Of course, Sony, it's a successful companies, but not always successful. And again, diversification to these businesses, it's difficult to say that it was really the successful. Okay. So one more cases that producer of the mayonnaise Kewpie, and again, Japanese company, Kewpie. Doesn't sound like a Japanese name, but that's the name of the Japanese company. And producing the mayonnaise, they use egg, but they use only the yellow part of the egg. So before, when they produced only mayonnaise, they just use the yellow part, they abandoned other part of the egg. Then they considered maybe they want to utilize other part of the egg because it is a waste. And they got some idea. For the white part, egg white, they sell to another company which produces this is called kamaboko in Japanese. It's a special kind of Japanese food. It's like a fishbowl. Maybe you have fishbowl when you eat noodle. Maybe some noodle have fishbowl. This is like a fishbowl in Japan. And when they produce it, the producer uses the egg white. So they sold the white part to that company, and the shell. The shell is rich in calcium. So they decided to use this shell part to produce the supplement, especially the calcium supplement. And one more, between the shell and white part, there's a very thin material. It is called eggshell membrane. Next time when you eat boiled egg, you peel the shell, and then you will find this eggshell membrane. And this eggshell membrane, it is used for producing cosmetic. So not abandon other part of the egg, but they utilize it effectively. This is a case of tangible assets because you can see it, and so it is a tangible asset. But for producing the mayonnaise, they also have intangible assets, just like Ajinomoto. Developing the mayonnaise, they also need to accumulate amino acid technology. That's the same. So using this technology again, produce the supplement. This is again, it's like a investment synergy. And also like Ajinomoto, Kewpie is the good company and have a channel to the many supermarkets. So using this brand name Kewpie and sales channel, they introduce different kind of products. This is a salad. This is a ready-made salad. What is a ready-made salad? Usually when you eat salad at home, you buy vegetable and you cut the vegetable by yourself and eat it as a salad. Here, for the lazy people, it is already cut and packed in the plastic bag and sold in the supermarket. The people who are very busy, business people, they work until late, and they just come after the work, they just come to the supermarket and buy this kind of salad and eat it immediately after they arrive at home. They don't even have to cut. And they introduce this kind of product using the brand and sales channels. It is sales synergy. So in many cases, synergy, most of them either investment sales, and of course, operations. You remember when we talk about this factory, utilizing the factories more effectively, it is the operation synergy. So most of the synergy, these three. Management synergy, not much use, but the experienced managers, directors, they do this, utilize management synergy. Okay, so it was a case. And let me introduce one more case before we stop. This is the company called Tore. It's a chemical company. It's large companies. Tore, their original business was the textile industry. Textile industry, especially using this nylon fiber. Nylon fiber itself, the technology they licensed from American company. So they bought the technology and started the production of the nylon fiber for the textile. But they don't just buy the technology, but develop by themselves. They develop from nylon fiber to polyester fiber. And then later, using this polyester fiber and added the plastic technologies, they entered polyester film market. It's like a plastic. And also they developed and started producing magnetic material film. This kind of magnetic material film, maybe you don't know well, but you use it quite often. If you look at your smartphone, usually on the surface of the smartphone, you handle it like this. Why you can do like this and it moves? Because they use a special kind of material on the surface. And what kind of material they use? They use the material which Tore produce. Not only Tore, but some other chemical companies. This kind of material is used on the surface of your smartphone. That is why you can do like this. So gradually, they developed the product, also entered into the similar but different area, like a plastic fiber business to plastic business. In fact, for the production of fiber products and plastic products, the processes, there's something in common, like mixing the material, squeezing and stretching. So they can use the common factory facilities for producing. When the demand of this kind of fiber, polyester fiber is high, they produce at this factory. But when the demand of polyester fiber is low, they can also use for the producing polyester film. This is for the effective utilization. By the way, Tore is now famous for their carbon fiber. Carbon fiber is used even for the body of the airplane or the building of the bridge, because carbon fiber is very light, not heavy, but very strong. So it can be used like this for this kind of things. And it takes long years for them to develop good quality of carbon fiber, but in the process of development, they introduce these technologies into the different products like a tennis racket or the fishing rod. But entering the new business like Tore, in many cases it was successful, but not always successful. During the 1980s, during the economic boom in Japanese economy, they once tried to enter the real estate business, like establishing, building the resort hotel or building the golf course. Unfortunately, they couldn't continue because they needed more capital in their own business. But it was good if they enter this kind of business, maybe they failed. Because many other Japanese companies in 1980s enter this kind of business and later they fail. Most of them failed. So it was good Toray didn't enter that kind of business. This is kind of parachute type of diversification for Toray. So that is why the possibility for the success was very, very low. But this kind of diversification is not parachute type because they use the technology they accumulated in the fiber business. So there's a clear difference between the diversification to this business and diversification to this business. Always try to choose this kind of businesses, something related to your previous business. Let me explain these next week. I will explain that next week, but do you have any question up to here? No? You are tired because it's Friday night. And so let me stop now. It's almost 8:45 and it's a Friday night. Please enjoy the weekend and we will see you again on Monday. Okay? So have a nice weekend. Yes, thank you so much.
Have a nice weekend.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.